So after doing a video reading and reacting to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 reviews, it was very clear you guys wanted to see more of this. So I picked the next one that everybody loves to hate. Halloween Ends. Let's go. Hey, what is up everybody? It's Nick here from the Lost River Drive-In, and today I'm very excited to be sitting here virtually with you, with my computer on hand, with reviews pulled up for Halloween Ends. Look, I chose Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 to be the first one that I did in this potential series because I wanted to pick one that a lot of people hate. It would generate discussion. You guys have responded really well to that video, and you guys asked me to do more, and Halloween Ends was mentioned numerous times. So of course, here I am, an apologist for another movie that a lot of fans say is bad, to read reviews, bad reviews, and you guys are going to see me react live with you. So without further ado, let's get right into the reviews for Halloween Ends, and we're starting off with David L, and we are here on Rotten Tomatoes. These are going to be all user reviews, and we're going to stick to Rotten Tomatoes because I didn't really like IMDb's layout. So David gives it a half star and says, if you hate the Halloween franchise for some reason and tried to write a movie to ruin the franchise for good on purpose, I don't think you could do as well as this. Alright, so we're already cooking with gas here. I heard so many people right after this movie came out say very similar things. This ruined the series. You honestly couldn't have done worse than this movie. I think that's an over-exaggeration, but David, you have brought us to where we need to be to start this off. Let's keep it rolling. Next up is Rose D. She gives it a half star and says, put it this way. If I was on an airplane and this movie came on, I'd still walk out on it. I watched it on a streaming site, so I didn't lose any money watching it. But I did want the 2 hours of my life back that I wasted watching the steaming pile of cow dung. It had nothing to do with any of the movies before it. This was the biggest waste of time just watching it. Well, Rose says this is a big old pile of duty.
That is one big pile of shit.
Peter R comes in and he's a little more forgiving with the star rating. So we've got 1 star instead of a half star. So we're doing better here. What a piece of garbage movie. Has nothing to do with Michael Myers. Avoid like the plague. See, here I was, Peter. I saw 1 star instead of a half a star, and I thought you were going to be a little nicer. But no, this is the bubonic plague. Next up is another 1-star review from our friend Antonio S, who says, this hurt to do because I'm a Michael Myers fan, but when the star of the movie is in the movie for 5 minutes and gets embarrassed, it defeats the purpose of Halloween. The entire movie is spent on a random kid. Massive disappointment to the Halloween franchise. Guys, so far these aren't as funny. We're going to get to them, don't worry. But I do have to say, just really, really quick here, Halloween isn't all about Michael Myers. That was actually never John Carpenter's intention. I know. Oh God, here we go. Here come the tomatoes. Noah D comes in with 1 star and says, pure garbage. Nothing more to say about this trash. And to be followed up by Nathan G, who says, what a pathetic excuse for a film. Guys, you're not being that funny tonight, and I'm kind of bummed. All right, so Babarazam gives it a half star and says, movie took a stupid take and destroyed the basic element this universe was built upon. Film is not about... Film is not about Michael Myers in any way. Even when he appears in movie, it feels a different person, which lacks the persona. Okay? Asante S comes in with a half-star review and says, what the hell did they do to Michael? I mean, fair.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Colin T has a half-star review. Colin says, do I really need to explain? They amped up this huge final just to cut Michael out until the final boring 10 minutes and replace him with an extremely boring character. The writing is god-awful, and overall it is so useless. The worst Halloween movie of all time. I literally convinced myself that I imagined it and the series ended at 2018. 0.6 out of 10. All right, here we go. We're getting back to the decimals. See, I love the dedication. You're not going to do 0.5. You're like, it's a little bit better than a half a star. It's a 0.6. Good on you, Colin. Olivia J.H. comes in with a 1-star review. Biggest pile of feminist, overdramatic delusion shit I have ever seen. Congratulations on ruining a top-tier horror franchise. I mean, if you hated it, that's fine, but overdramatic, delusional feminism, I didn't really see it in there. I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of other reasons to hate the movie. I feel like you're reaching here. I feel like you've got an agenda. Hector D comes in with a half a star and says, no, just no. For this to be the end of the franchise, it just feels as though there was no Michael or Laurie in it, because they focus on some nobody who is neither likable or good as a character. Okay, so I've heard the complaint many times about not focusing enough on Michael. We could get into semantics about screen time, which would be very comparable to 78, but that's not really the point. Saying that it's not about Laurie, though? Laurie and Corey's plot are directly intertwined. All right, Hector. JNTNP gives it 1 star and says, in future film schools, they will use Halloween Ends as a learning material for how not to end your trilogy. Absolutely terrible, with all the wrong choices you could make. Kyle K gives it a half star and says, a movie written by someone who has clearly never met another human being before. Okay. The Halloween franchise is no stranger to stinkers, but this may be the crowning turd of the dumpster fire. Never have I even imagined that I would see a movie where every character is written so badly. All right, Kyle, I respect your opinion, but I am sorry. The dialogue in this movie is infinitely better than Kills in 2018. Infinitely. I will not hear. This is the only movie of the trilogy, in my opinion, that it actually feels like real humans having real conversations. Like, just gonna say that. But everything else, you're allowed to that opinion.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jared W. gives it 1 star and says, this movie sucked. What a terrible way to end a franchise. Shame on you. Ickham M. gives it a half star and says, wish I could give a 0. Movie was trash. Halloween has always been about Michael, not Laurie. And now it's about Laurie and some cornball Corey. Absolutely trash movie. Way to ruin the horror movie ever. Way to ruin the horror movie ever. Shame on you. Ryan J comes in with 1 star and says, no. Completely ruins the effect of Michael Myers. I didn't care what was going to happen in this movie. Michael shouldn't have been killed so easily. 1.9 out of 10. Ryan, I respect the dedication to not rounding it out to a solid 2. You went with a 1.9. That is a 19%. I salute you. Jack R gives it a half star and says, a punch in the face, a spit in the face, and a massive middle finger to Halloween fans. I guess I like degradation. I still can't believe they made Michael Myers an extra in his own movie.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Trey B gives it a half star review and says, Curtis ruined this movie with her own personal beliefs. Nearly has nothing to do with Michael Myers, mostly Corey's story. Half star only because it won't let you do a 0 stars. Look, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that any agenda was passed by Jamie Lee Curtis at all in this movie, at least, aside from, I don't know, maybe that she finally gets to be the victor. I don't see it, but you know, I'm an apologist, remember? Ben M gives it a half star and says, worst Halloween movie I've seen. So disappointing. Michael got his ass beat by a couple of girls and dies. The end. Well, they're adults. They're not children. And yes, who could forget that no final girl has ever bested the killer in any movie? Ripley's never done it. Lord knows Sidney Prescott's never done it. See, like similar to the last review, I always feel like it's the people complaining about agendas that are the ones with agendas. I wanted to laugh, and you sound like a troglodyte. Donald S. with a half-star review, and he keeps it very, very short. Halloween Ends. Promise? GC comes in with a half-star review and says, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Apparently and hopefully they did this deliberately to be sure they could not be this bad at making movies. I am not impressed with Jamie Lee Curtis anymore after she basically put down all the Halloween movies and indirectly put down the fans as well. She said she does children's books instead and that she would never do those kinds of movies again. Then you see her ugly mug up there. Alright. No. Again, you have an agenda. I'm not listening to your bullshit review because it seems like your opinion of the movie has been affected by your personal opinion of Jamie Lee Curtis. Eat a dick.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Rec H gives it a half star and says they ruined an icon. They absolutely ruined Michael Myers in this movie.
Yeah, baby.
And if you can't tell, we could do this all night, but we're going to wrap it up with DC777's half-star review. Overall, this movie was a total failure. The 2018 version was tremendous. This movie was a disgrace to the previous ones and ruined the reboot. Very sad to see the boogeyman go down as a normal person and not be supernatural. So believe it or not, Halloween Ends actually has a better audience score on Rotten Tomatoes than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 score is in the 40s. This is almost at 60, which I was shocked by. So it was actually a little bit harder to find some of the harsher reviews of this movie. There's not to say there's not a lot, because there are, but I wanted to find ones that, I don't know, stood out. And of course, we had a few funny ones, we had a few that were just dramatic, and we had a few people pushing their own agendas and personally insulting people because they don't like them personally. All of that equates to what this video was. An experience, a journey. You, the viewer, came on with me and watched me live react. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times. Just like opening night for Halloween Ends. And I feel like as the years go on, it will continue to be the best and the worst of times. I will always stand there with my sword and my shield and defend Halloween Ends, but I can have fun poking fun at the movie and poking fun at myself for being a fan of the movie because I know 50% of the fan base hates it. And it's not like a, oh, you know, it was all right. It's a, no, this movie is an absolute abomination. But I got enjoyment out of reading these reviews, and I hope you guys did too. So if you liked this one, I'll keep doing them. Come on, in the comment section down below, name another controversial movie that you want to see me react to bad reviews of. That's what this is. And it hopefully one that I like, so it makes me laugh and, you know, questions my own sanity. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a like on this video if you haven't already. I thank you guys so much for stopping at the Lost River Drive-In. This is Nick, and I'm pulling out.